Hi guys, good morning, afternoon. I think it might be finally time for the greenhouse cleanup. Wearing my old glasses so I can see, got my hair put back for cleaning, wearing my work pants at home, my jammies, because that's how I roll. Um, we're going to get this done, and I think we'll have a conversation while we do this. Let's talk about plant starts and how did that go for me this year and all that good jazz. So let's clean together and have a conversation. I am saving all this ground cover because A, it's high dollar, B, it's still usable, and I do intend to use it again next year, and I intend to use even more of it because for anyone who saw the onion bed, we did not. Do you see how weeds and whatnot grow into the fabric from the top? It's crazy, and it's like solid in there. Anyway, I do intend to use more. So anyone who saw the onion bed, it was a mess because we did not use fabric. Really couldn't think of how I would be able to use it for onions. But I have a plan now, and I definitely will be using it for onions this coming year. And or this next year, yeah. Stay tuned for that. So I can show you how to go about doing that, and then you still don't have to deal with weeds. How great will that be? I certainly don't want to deal with weeds. So, yep, that's what we're going to do for that. Now, I also didn't start, sorry, lots of ums today, I guess. I didn't start as many different types of plants as I could have. And that, again, is because I didn't do the research. So I really didn't know that I could start a lot of different ones that I thought I needed to direct sow. And I really didn't have to do that. And so we're going to start a bunch of different kinds of plants this year. Like, for example, broccoli. That was one I thought I had to direct sow. I believe that's what happened and why we didn't get broccoli heads, because by the time they came up, it was too hot and they bolted before the heads could come on. So I will definitely be starting those in the spring. I'll be starting, of course, tomatoes. And I don't know if I'll buy the onions or I'll start them from seed. I'm not positive. I mean, this year I tried both. I tried both onions from seed and then bought onion starts. I think if I would have started the seed in the house and then planted them as starts, that would have been a lot better. So I don't know. I'm going to do some more research on it over the winter and make sure I'm much more educated on it before I get that started. So yes, we'll store this ground cover actually over in the garage because when it is sunny out, it still gets really warm in here, and I don't want these things getting ruined. I want to be able to use them year after year for as long as possible. So those will definitely go in the garage. Okay. Okay, so for example, let's see, when I first came out here, it was 58, and it looks like it's about 51 now that I have the window open and the door open and all that jazz. So, oh, it's definitely chilly. There we go. Also going to order a bunch of new trays, seedling trays, and reuse a bunch of other things as well. We'll still use these red cups. The only thing I really didn't like about the red cups and the shelves is that while I put drainage in these cups, the shelves prevented the drainage from being able to travel away from the cups. Therefore, things just stayed absolutely saturated, which I really didn't appreciate. So that'll be different. I think I'll probably get Kyle to drill holes in these shelves to make sure that the drainage can happen, because that really wasn't good, and I really didn't like it. Let's see, that'll work right there. My neighbor gave me these lovely little signs, and I just think they're so cute, and I didn't get to use a lot of them because a lot of these things just weren't in the ground, like these potatoes. The carrots weren't in the ground. There's 2 peas. I didn't grow peas because Kyle and I don't like peas, but we might grow some. Maybe for the chickens when we have them, they'll probably enjoy peas. I don't know if we'll grow them next year or not, but if we do, it won't be for us because neither one of us like peas. And I think there's still one laying out there, but these are just so cute, so I plan to use those again. Now, let's see. Use that again. Let's see, that's looking pretty good already. Can you see me if I move over there? Probably not, so let's move you. Trying to get everything up off the floor prior to trying to get anything swept. So, I'll bring this over here so I can see what y'all can see. That helps probably. So, it's amazing how dirty this thing got, huh? Apologize if I'm not on screen. I'm just trying to pick up some garbage. Whew. Oh, and the bird netting. Yes. You know what? We had such a problem with the birds and the Roma tomatoes. I'm still flabbergasted. I don't know what it was about the Roma potatoes, Roma tomatoes in particular that those doggone birds really enjoyed. But I liked the bird netting, don't get me wrong. It worked, but I didn't like it because the plants, as they got bigger, they grew up into the netting, and so then when it came time to remove the netting, the plants were going to get torn up, so it was really kind of difficult to remove it. And yeah, let's just make a mess together real quick, shall we? Save as much of this soil as we can, because it is usable again, and there's a lot of peat moss in this particular one. I want to use it again. We'll amend it with some bone meal and a couple of other things, and put some fresh plant starter soil in and whatnot with it next year. There's no sense in wasting your soil, y'all. Might as well reuse it. Just make sure you amend it. I'm sure there's not near the nutrients in it that it begins with. Let's see. Oh, here's some more. Let's see. Save the soil, but I'm not going to save these little containers, even though they're not rotted. I don't like these, I've decided. These type of, what do they call them? I don't even remember what they're called. I don't like these for starts. You're supposed to be able to take and plant them right in the ground. And yeah, that's what I think of them. I didn't care for them. We'll definitely not use those again unless I just have no other choice. There we go. Look at all that soil. Yeah, you gotta save that soil. That's expensive stuff sometimes. Let's see. There we go. one apart. Yeah, I used these in the house for plant starts this year. I actually really like them. I'm going to use them again. See, and that's one of the reasons I'm not sure I'm going to put holes in them because, well, isn't that nice? I appreciated that they blocked all the drainage off. But let me show you what I mean. See how this is where all the cups were and how it held the water under the cup? I didn't like that, so I'm going to have to come up with something for that. I don't know what, but I'll come up with something. Maybe it'll start pouring down and I won't have to get the hose out and wash those. But knowing my luck, I will most definitely have to get a hose out. There we go. I'm gonna have to clean these as best I can too. I put plant starts in there, and they really helped with the red cups as far as drainage goes. So we'll definitely give that a shot, getting those cleaned up. And if they don't clean up, I'll use them for the cups, and then I definitely don't have to drill holes. Oh. Yeah, I think this is that Atlas. No, this is the potting soil, and I didn't mind the potting soil. This is all right. Oh, this one has the little extensions for these shelves. Okay. Let's see. Got those. But yeah, I think I'm going to start pretty much everything, probably with the exception of lettuce and chard, which reminds me I really need to get some Swiss chard seeds in the ground. I'm not sure if it's too late to get them to germinate, but with tomorrow and the next day going to be in the 80s, it might be just right to get them to germinate. This box fan sure came in handy. And one of the other things I learned were peanuts. But then those ultimately ended up being the ones that we lost. And the ones that were outside ended up being the ones that I got to harvest. Who knew? Even though what I had read said that they like it hot, they don't like it that flippin' hot, I can tell you that. So we won't be doing peanuts in the greenhouse next year. But we will be doing it. Most definitely, we will be doing them. I plan to do an entire bed of peanuts, or at least it's what's in my head. I don't think it's on my draft right now. I'll insert a photo of that here. As you can see on the draft, I have beds plotted out and know that I want them, what I want in certain ones. And I don't know that I allocated a peanut bed, so as we're looking at the plans, if that's there, then great, I already planned it. But if I didn't, I better get it in there, right? So one of the things I've decided is I didn't need as, well, I did. Because my goal with the Romas and the San Marzanos was to make all of my own tomato sauce. Which I did make a bunch of tomato sauce, but it was certainly not enough for a year. And so I definitely still want to be able to make all of my own sauce. But I've decided that what's probably going to work out better for me would be to, yeah, lots of ums on this video, guys. What would be better for me would be to find someone who is growing those things, San Marzanos, Romas, you know, paste tomatoes overall, growing them in much bigger quantities than what I can, and go ahead and use someone like that, go and buy bushels of them and do it all at one time, and then just grow some here. One, because I love them and the seeds came from Melissa and Jeremy, and I'm going to grow them again because I'm not going to waste those seeds, because my gosh, those tomatoes were amazing. I have all those in the house from the final harvest y'all saw, and they've got to go in the dehydrator today, so I might take you along for getting those started in the dehydrator. But this is more important because I would like to have Kyle's help in building up the chicken coop. What is this? Oh. To building up the chicken coop, and in order to do that, I need to try to get as much done today as I can, so there's a lot less to do tomorrow. And then that way we can get started on the chicken coop tomorrow. I don't remember what the temperature's supposed to be Friday, but I don't think it's supposed to be as warm. And I don't know about you, but I don't like hanging out in the cold wind if I can possibly help it. I'm not going to use those. Yeah, I used all those. I'm not going to reuse them. Ones I didn't use, I'll go ahead and use next year, but I'm not going to reuse them. So, you know, they might have their uses, but I just didn't care for them. I didn't like how they, I just didn't like how they worked at all. I think I had less success using these for plant starts than I did anywhere else. And that includes the Atwood's manure. So, yeah, I might have to see if Chad from Adler Farms would want to come get this manure, because he might be able to use it on Farm 1.0 for something. You know, like I said, it's probably really great for cleaning or filling up holes in the yard. Let me see, where can I stick this? Okay, that'll work. Now, take this one. We're going to leave that smaller one, maybe. I might be able to put all that up there so I can have access to every one of these shelves. Because like I said, I do intend to start a whole bunch more than I did last year. Or earlier this year. Let's try that. That'll work. Alright, so let me scoot you guys over here so I can come back to this side now. Let's see. How's that work? Let me just check. Not too bad. There. So how about I work on getting this swept off so I can get all that mess up here, huh? I'll definitely tell you guys everything I do learn through my research on starting plants. You know, it seems like that would be such a basic thing to do. That's why I really didn't spend much energy. Not that I didn't watch videos on plant starts, because I did. I just didn't spend much energy on it. And that kind of left me at a disadvantage, really, because without having any experience in doing it, I didn't have enough knowledge to do it as well as I would have liked. So we're going to definitely take a look at doing that differently this next year and trying to do it in a much more successful. I'll look at doing that in a much more successful manner. Man, I'm choking myself up with all this dust. Ugh. I guess I should have tried to find a mask. I didn't even think about it. Alright, now I can start loading that shelf up and getting everything off of everything else. So. Let's see, we'll put it here. Yeah, this guy's, by the way, if you know, for diatomaceous earth, this shaker right here, it works really well for applying that mess. Okay. That's perlite. This works. How about we just use this thing of soil to store our tools. So we don't lose them. And they're easy to find. How about that? That'll work. There. How about that? Go ahead and start getting this thing swept off. Use it for those others. I hope I'm not boring you guys. Did ask Miss Avita and my cousin Christy for their opinion on whether or not I should do a time lapse while I'm cleaning the greenhouse or talk to you guys. And choosing to talk to you. So hopefully I'm not boring. Now, let's talk about something that might be fairly exciting to some of you. I know for sure 2 or 3 of you it's very exciting because I've already talked to you about it, which is a series I have planned coming up this winter that I think you guys will really enjoy. Especially a couple of you that I know really feel like they need some detailed instruction on how to can. And I'm going to walk you guys through the process I took last winter teaching myself how to can. And we're going to have a lot of fun. So I'll take a picture and insert it here. This book that I'm showing you now, or have shown you, whichever way, I don't know if I'm going to talk over the photo or during the photo. I'm not going to have. Anyway. This book that I've shown you, the ball book, that's the book I'm going to use to get the recipes and follow the instructions. This book I used last winter and learned to can. I've watched so many videos over the years on preserving food and canning food and different things. And I was so intimidated by canning. And I'll tell you what, I was so amazed to find out really how easy it is. The biggest work that's involved in canning is the preparation to can. All of the work that leads up to putting the food in a jar and then putting it in the canner, that's where the hard work is. The actual process of canning is stupid easy, y'all. For those of you who have never done it and you've watched videos and you feel intimidated by it, you know, the only reason I think that you're feeling intimidated would be the same reason I was feeling intimidated, which is the fact that you just don't have the experience. You've just never done it, so you don't know. You really do not know how simple it is and how much fun it can be. And to be honest, one of my favorite things that I had canned just to try it was taco meat. Can you imagine, of all things? So I had done some canning up to that point, got fairly comfortable with the process, but then it was time to learn the pressure canner, and I got pretty comfortable with it. Did a couple of recipes, I don't remember exactly what, before I did, like a couple of my own recipes following the recommendations in the book I showed you. You got to follow those, make sure you're getting things canned correctly. I know some things I'll do differently when I do those recipes again, and we'll talk about that during the series. Where was that? Oh, the taco meat. Y'all, that was amazing. Do you know how fun it was on a night I so did not want to cook? But I'm not a big fast food type person. I don't really want it. Every now and again I might. But most of the time I don't want to eat out. I just want to eat what's at home. Well, let me tell you. On those nights that I didn't feel like eating. I didn't feel like cooking, but I wanted to eat. That taco meat was terrific. I cannot tell you how great it was to go to the pantry, pull a jar of taco meat out, throw it in a skillet, cook the excess liquid off of it, which is all you had to do. Get your taco shells or your soft shells, if that's what you're going to use, ready. That's it. That's it. Within 10 minutes, you're eating tacos. Tacos made the way you like it. It tastes like your tacos. They are your tacos. So we'll definitely have to do that recipe just because, well, mainly I want more taco meat on the shelf. Oh, well, isn't that lovely? Come look at what I just found, you guys. Whoa, huh? Can you imagine? Man, that's scary. Thank God wasps don't reuse their nests. If y'all didn't know that, they don't. But watch me get stung. Hopefully there's none in there. Good. None. Holy crap. That was crazy, right? Don't remember what we would have had in there. Okay. Let's see if we can get this tree of a weed yanked up. Amazing, right? Go on, throw this out. I'm not going to put it in the garbage. So anyway, the taco meat. That was a lot of fun. To be able to pull that stuff off the shelf and just have a decent meal that I cooked and I knew I was going to enjoy. And I also did beef stew. I did chicken soup. Now, on those two, those were my recipes as far as my normal recipes. And then I just followed the recommendations for canning in the ball book. And while they came out good, don't get me wrong, they have great flavor. But while it came out good, what I did find was the texture on the meat, just like with the tacos. I think I forgot to finish that statement for you, but yeah, the texture of the meat comes out different after the canning process. Now on the tacos, I really didn't mind it. It's actually much like, I guess, probably much like the texture that you might get at a fast food restaurant. So I didn't really mind that because the flavor was still really good. But I would still probably can it a little differently. I don't know that I would can it with as much liquid. Now this was All right, let's see. I don't remember who it was. It was someone on YouTube that I saw do the taco meat. And I thought, well, if they can do it, I can. So I just kind of followed more or less what she did, but just used my recipe and decided that, pardon me, my allergy kicked my butt now. Decided that once I got it done and started using that meat, I don't know that it needs as much liquid as she put in it. I just honestly don't believe it's necessary. I'm going to do a little more research and double check that theory, but I'm pretty sure we can do it a little differently. And then I think the texture on the meat might come out just a little better, but we'll see. Then, okay, my perfectionism's coming in. Okay, there. Let's see, what else? Oh, the chicken soup and the stew. What I did not like in the end about those was the meat basically disintegrated. So what I've decided is, what needs to happen is that the meat needs to be raw when packed into the soup. So that way it doesn't cook in the pressure canner to the point that it's pretty much gone. So we're gonna try that. That'll be one of the series. I don't know if I'll just show me trying it, and then if it works out, I'll show you how to do it. All I can do is give it a try first. But I think it'll work. So I think we'll do that. I also already have a list of recipes started, so that I have several, well, more than several weeks. I think, well, let me see. I'll count and insert a number on the screen here, but I believe there's like 8 or 10 weeks of worth of videos for once a week on the list. So I think what would be really cool is for those of you who are going to be interested in this series and learning from it and following along and doing it with us, send me your requests, especially if you can find the recipes in the book, because that's what I want to use. I want to try to stick to that, because that made me much more comfortable on the first few times of canning. That said, if you have something else you want to can that's not necessarily in that book, we can do those later in the series after you all have become a little more comfortable with it, just like I did, and go on and give those a can and see what happens. Why not, right? I've got a bunch of jalapenos from our final harvest, as y'all saw, that I need to get made into cowboy candy. Promised case over at Adler Farms, because the last batch that I made was Kyle's brilliant idea of using all the peppers. So, yeah, that was a little too spicy. So I want to make him some just for him, so I don't feel so bad that he ended up burning his tongue so bad on that candy. Oh, there we go, guys. It's starting to look good, huh? Well, you probably really can't see it yet, huh? Let's get this over here, and let's get you guys over here so you can see what's going on. I don't know if you can see this floor. Let me aim you guys down where you can see what I'm getting done. Yeah, there you go. Looking pretty good. I need to get my small broom and bring it out here for these ledges, huh? But for now, this is good enough, because it is certainly whooping my allergies into high gear. Oh, Somebody tell Kyle to weed eat between the fence and the greenhouse, please. Especially now that everything's dying. I'll also ask him to spray some weed and grass killer under the greenhouse. Yeah, so somebody tell him to do that too, please. Especially before next year, because that would solve anything growing up from under it, for the most part. Pardon me for one moment. Okay, I just had to go blow my nose, guys. How many of you are watching me do this and wonder why I'm trying to be so perfect with it? It's not my house, man. It's meant to be a little dirty, right? So, when it comes to plant starts, let's get back to there, because I definitely have to rope someone into this. And that would be my cousin's wife, my cousin, Christy, who follows my channel, and whose daughter, which would be my second cousin, Sativa. No, yes, second. And she really likes to watch my channel. Hi, T. Anyway, I am going to rope them into coming and doing plant starts with me. Christy has never started her own seeds, and I told her how easy it really is to do. And I told her she could come and do this with me next year, start seeds. Her and Sativa can come, and we'll start a bunch of seeds, and then I'll keep them watered and moist and going until it's time to transfer to the ground, since I have the grow lights, and then I also have the greenhouse. And then they can come back when it's time and pick them up and take them home and put them in the ground. So that'll be fun, won't it? And then we'll just get her to send us some pictures. Can y'all hear that? Those are the leaves. I don't know if you could hear that. Anyway, we'll get her to send me some pictures I can put into some videos for you guys during the summer so you can see how they grew. I'll be right back. Gotta go put this over here. Okay, guys, let's take a look at what I've gotten done. Sorry about that. I don't know if the GoPro overheated or if it needed a new battery, so I just fixed it. So anyway, got everything up there. What didn't go up there over there. And then the floor, y'all. Look, it's all empty now. With the exception of the rakes. Not bad, huh? Not bad. So now I need to get those stacked up. Well, not really stacked up, but laid out. So maybe it'll rain again and clean them off a bit. And then if it doesn't, I'll have to hose them off. So either way, let's get that done. To house boots. Let's see. How about I set you guys here and you can watch me stack those shelves up. Alright, y'all. I think the only thing I have for out here is to get these herbs back out into the yard, or whatever you want to call it, just so they can get better sun. They don't get enough right there. Pull them right out here where they'll get a little bit of sun and more of the rain. There. That's it. Okay, you guys, so I think we've got it done, y'all. Isn't that amazing? So hopefully then that means Thursday we'll be able to get the rest of the garden cleanup done and start building on the chicken coop. And if we need to, we'll finish the chicken coop on Friday, or start the chicken coop and finish the garden on Friday, whichever way it goes. Anyway, thanks for coming along with me today. Hope I didn't bore you to tears. and I'll see you on the next video.